and welcome to Freelancer Showcase, hosted by TETV and Slice Creative Network. I'm Melody Matheny, the founder of Slice Creative Network, and we're here today to feature wonderful freelance talent. And today we'd like to welcome Miss Kaylee Fuller. Welcome, Kaylee.
You're welcome. Hi.
Hi, thanks for coming on the show. So happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's tell our viewers, what discipline do you work in?
So I'm an entry-level attraction designer.
Okay, great. And where are you located?
I'm located in Central Florida.
Okay, awesome. And if you were offered a position somewhere else, might you be interested or willing to move elsewhere?
Anywhere across the state of Florida, I'm willing to move. I love sunny Central Florida as well.
Okay, awesome. And where have you worked in the past?
So in the past, my last position in the industry was at Universal Creative, working as the intern for interior and architectural design.
Awesome. But that was some great experience. Sounds fun.
Yes.
Cool. Well, let's take a look at your portfolio.
So these are a couple of the main areas that I like to work in: concept renderings, graphic visualization, design packages, and 3D modeling. I am a part of the next generation of designers that will create ultra immersive themed experiences that bring together the pieces of a puzzle to create thoughtful, immersive, and enchanting design concepts that tell a story. I'm an innovative designer with expertise in coordinating all facets of the design process, from conception to final delivery. I strive to push past boundaries and think outside the box, but most of all, I hope to never stop learning and using my own unique skills, knowledge, imagination, and passion for themed experience design. The first project I would like to show to you today is the Spirits of Time. Last summer, I was a part of the TEC workshop, and I had 4 weeks to develop a pitch for this themed experience. We were given a randomly selected attraction type and attraction theme of a special effects show involving time travel. In developing this concept, we thought, what if questions, like, much of our favorite Pixar films do. What if a rat could become a chef? Or what if, toys had feelings? Or what if even feelings had feelings? Well, we started to wonder, and what if time had feelings? More specifically, what if it consisted of 3 spirits, 3 siblings? Thus, the Spirits of Time was born. And these are all concepts that we've created, and I created the characters for these designs to create a past, present, and future physical representation of themselves. This was a large-scale theme park in what we envisioned, all ages, and it was 30 minutes runtime with 5 minutes in the pre-show, 10 minutes in the library, and 15 minutes in the observatory, with 100 guests per group. So the front of the facade I designed using SketchUp, and the concept was illustrated by our lovely designer and concept illustrator. I designed this project and rendered it in Lumion. The guests will enter into the queue area where each one of the queues is designed towards each one of the Spirits of Time. You start in the present queue and move your way into the green queue where it is the past, and then enter into the present blue queue before entering the pre-show area. The present queue is very much time in the present with a running waterfall and a beautiful tree. It is the most light, open, and clean of the spaces. The next area is very antique, and it shows the passage of time and the fact that everything in there is something that can be recognizable throughout the ages. I chose to make this area a lot more cluttered versus the next area, which is future, to give that very much contrast of the fact that this is a future area. The guests will then enter into the pre-show area where they're greeted by a giant curtain and the 3 portraits of past, present, and future. The guests will see the past, present, and future characters come to life and experience them running across the runway atop. And they will present to them what we've all been wondering, which is what's behind the curtain. As the curtain opens, the guests will enter into the library, which is located at the center of the attraction. This area has all sorts of different interactives where the guests can discover something more. One side of the attraction is future, and one side of the attraction is past, with present being right in the center. The guests will be able to free roam in this library is meant to look as if it goes on forever because it holds all of the time that we have passed. The center, when they see the mirror they will look closer to and even closer and see that the guests will come together to experience this the presence of present, and the time that the guests have will be greeted with the final note that looking back at the past can sure be tough, and so to the future with its wonderful stuff. But try your best to look past the fluff and know in this moment that you are enough, which is the message and the meaning behind our attraction, and it brings the guest into the experience. The next project that I had the privilege of working on in my MFA program at UCF was the Republic City food carts. These carts are based off of the 4 elements of the Avatar world, which is water, fire, earth, and air. I chose more specifically to focus on water, fire, and earth for these 3 food carts. The food carts are enabled through passive devices that reflect back light to the sensor and tracks the band's movement. So guests are able to wear these bands, and the infrared cameras will be able to understand that they are doing the different motions to allow the guests to bend water, move fire, and move the earth. The puzzle piece at the top right is a piece that the guests can collect, and it comes together to form the avatar symbol. The first cart is water, and water is an element in which this area is located to really draw on the moon spirit and the spirit bridge. This also echoes back to Chinese culture with the moon gate, and the guests are able to literally move the water ribbons at the top, as well as interact with the water aurora borealis at the bottom of the food cart to feel as though they are bending the waterfall in that area. This side of the food cart also has the interactives as well, and has graphics all the way around the sides. The next portion of it is the costumes, and the costumes also echo back onto that spirit oasis and really allow to pull back the culture and reflect the show in the way that it should be. The food also reflects the time of the area, and while the menus are very standard, the refills are what really draws the guest in so they can see the graphic package and really understand that the souvenir cups are what they would want to collect. I also did the graphic packaging for this area, and the water bottles and our puzzle pieces are something that the guests can collect and take home with them. Earth is the next element, and this element, it's a lot more traditional, and it reflects the middle ring standards. These standards are specific to this middle ring, but this area has a little bit more of a unique style where the sides of the food cart specifically will interact with wristband movements. So the guests will be able to move the wristbands and have these discs move to the side, which will initiate a sound effect and allow the green little squares that you see to actually move the earth and project out. So the guest really feels as though they are earthbending. This costuming area as well is something that they can bring together and pull together the look with adding another color in to freshen up the look, so it also shows that it's in today's times. The same with the menu board here, and also this one is a little bit more vegetarian so that it can draw back on one of the key characters within this world, which is our Cabbage Man. This graphic packaging also is featured with the water bottle and the puzzle piece, and each one of the elements has the origin of their element on the packaging. So the origin of earthbending is the badger mole in this area. Fire is the last element, and this one is one that's unique. As the guests bend towards the blue pillar, they will have the center disc that lights up blue. As they bend towards the fire, the red fire, it will have the center disc light up red. If they decide to come together and have a friend and 2 people bend at the same time, they can actually bend towards both of the pillars, and the center will turn purple and the dragons will spin around the center disc. This area is kind of giving you a unique little hint at the center with the purple menu. One whole side will be blue and one whole side will be red, with the center having the purple to represent that call to action for the guest. The costuming will also represent the call to action for the guest, with the purple being a little bit of a hint in the center of their costume, and the one side being red and the one side being blue. This will also have an opportunity to add a little bit of extra heat to the table, and the guests can add extra fire flakes to make their dish a little bit spicier. And the graphic packaging, again, shows the origin of the Fire Nation with the dragons and the dancing dragons around that graphic packaging. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kaylee. Nice presentation. Can I ask you a couple questions about the projects you just presented?
Sure.
Okay, great. About the Spirits of Time, how big was your team?
Our team was 5 people. We had 2 concept illustrators, 1 graphic designer, 1 storyteller, and 1 project manager.
And which category did you fill?
I was one of the concept illustrators.
Concept illustrator. Okay, so you did have a creative writer who wrote the story for you guys?
Yes, we did. And we all worked collaboratively together to come up with the story. We met many long, late nights to try to come up with that story as collaboratively as possible. But the more eloquent words were definitely put together by our storyteller.
Gotcha. Cool. And you said that was a 4-week project?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And about the avatar carts, are the guests supposed to be doing the interactives while they're waiting for their food?
Yes. So what's unique about it is that they can come up to the side of the cart and do the interactives while they're either getting the food, or they can have where the parents are getting the food and the kids can go interact with something to allow that line to be a little less boring while you're waiting for the yummy stuff.
Okay. And how big was your team for that project?
That was just me. That was my UCF studio project that I did this last semester.
Did you get to choose the theme, or is that something they assigned to you?
Yes. So the studio project was basically laid out to us as a small attraction, and we got to pick whatever it was that we wanted to do. I specifically chose to do a food cart, and I decided to choose Avatar to create those specific things. The actual project was only 1 small attraction, but I decided to go a little further and do 3 because I feel like the theme kind of just longed for it.
Right. Gotcha. Cool. Okay. So just to wrap it up in one, you did the package design, the graphic design, the costuming design, and the 3D models and elevations, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay, great. Well, that's excellent. Excellent showcase of those skills. Thank you. I had a couple of last minute questions before I let you go. I wanted to ask you about what other disciplines do you work in or have interest in?
Sure. I have a background in both photography and interior design. I have a bachelor's degree in interior design from Seminole State, and I'm currently working on a master's of fine arts at UCF for themed experience. So I do a little bit of interior design, graphic design, and I'm actually working as a lighting designer, interning for the next couple weeks. So pretty much anything.
Great. Wide open mind. I love that. What programs do you work in? Tell us about that.
Yes. So I work in a lot of different 3D modeling programs and rendering programs, including Revit, SketchUp, Lumion, and V-Ray. I also work in the Adobe Creative Suite. More specifically, I focus on Photoshop, Illustrator, and things like that. So yeah.
Awesome. You're like a giant sponge right now. You're taking everything.
I love to learn, and I love to learn things new. I don't like to, sit in one area, and I like to just figure everything out.
You're an explorer. I get that. I get you. That's cool. All right. So what's the best way for people to contact you if they want to talk to you more about your work and start a relationship? How should they do that?
They can definitely contact me on my website or on my LinkedIn, as well as my email, which is kayleefuller@aol.com, or check out my website at kayleefuller.com. If they see me at any of the networking events as well, come and say hi. I'm super friendly and love to make new friends, so come and check me out.
Yay. Thanks, Kaylee. And I'm so happy I got to meet you at the last Mixer event we were both attending. So hooray. It's
Yay.
great to have you in the network and in our community. Look forward to seeing a lot more of you. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it a lot.
Thanks. All right. And if you guys would like to check out Kaylee's website or search for any other creative freelancers that you might need for your themed entertainment projects, please visit our website at www.slicecreativenetwork.com.